Have you heard about JOMO, with its joy of missing out? There was a lady called Maya. She's very vibrant. She was 28 years old, professional. So she has visited to our clinic to discuss about her struggles with anxiety and burnout. Living in the city, her life was very much dominated by an endless stream of social engagements, work demands, and pervasive presence of social media. So she felt pressured to keep her with her peers, attending any event, and stay on top of every trend, despite her seemingly exciting lifestyle. She confessed to feeling perpetually exhausted, anxious, and unfulfilled. So when she came for the first consultation, she was trying to explain me the problem and all that. During the initial consultation, she revealed that her day were filled with back-to-back commitment. She spoke of a persistent sense of missing out when she opted out of activities. This fear of missing out, that is it is called FOMO, was fueling a cycle of overcommitment and dissatisfaction. Recognizing the root of her distress, I introduced her to the concept of JOMO, JOMO, the joy of missing out. She was intrigued by the idea of finding peace and contentment by stepping back from the relentless need to be everywhere and do everything. So, exploring the journey to Jomo, over the next few weeks, I said that we worked together to help, and then from FOMO to ZOMO, her journey was included like several key steps. So the first step, what I have told her is that embracing that solitude. So Maya initially she was like felt loneliness through guided exercises including mindfulness and journaling. She began to see solitude as a valuable opportunity for self-reflection. I also encouraged her to set aside quiet mornings for meditation and creative activities. So she rediscovered her passion for painting, a hobby she hadn't pursued since childhood. So these moments of creative expression brought her a deep sense of joy and fulfillment. And the second one, I asked her to make a mindful choices about her habits of saying yes to every invitation stemmed from a fear of being left out. Together, we developed a decision making framework entirely before committing to any activity. Maya would ask her self that, does this align with my values and bringing me joy? She also practiced this approach one weekend, like by declining a late night party in favor of working on her art. So, this is how it went on. Also, I have asked her practicing digital detox, like she said, and also admitted to spending hours scrolling through social media, which often left her feeling inadequate. So she implemented like digital detox routine. She began by turning off notification and designating specific times for social media use. Eventually, she established a weekly digital free Sunday, which she used to explore nature or immerse, herself with a good book, etc. So this regularly practiced reduced her anxiety and improved her focus on the activities. Setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care is much important. So we have next done that, like she faced a lot of struggles with overextending herself at work and in her personal life. So, through role playing exercises, we worked on setting boundaries. She implemented no work rule after 8 p.m. and dedicated that particular time to self care activities like taking long baths, reading, simply relaxing. So, she reported feeling more energized and less overwhelmed, and she reclaimed her evenings. Next, cultivating gratitude and contentment, like shift, focus from what she lacked to what she had. Also, have encouraged Maya to keep a gratitude journal. Each night, she listed 3 to 4 things she was thankful for. Over time, this practice transformed her perspective. She began to appreciate the simple joy of life, such as meaningful conversation or the satisfaction of completing a painting, etc. So, understanding Zomo in the context of mental health, like this joy of missing out, it is not classified as a mental health condition in international classification of diseases, that is ICD what we call. So it can be viewed as a positive behavioral shift or mindset. Instead of being a disorder, it represents a healthy way of navigating modern life pressure and overstimulation. So it contrasts with its counterpart, FOMO, which can contribute to mental health challenges. So we need to differentiate between ZOMO from ICD diagnosis. So, this joy of missing out, it represents a conscious and healthy decisions to step back from overstimulation, excessive commitments, or social comparisons, basically on social media. Encourage, you have to encourage self care, mindfulness, boundary setting, and personal growth. Often, this results reduce anxiety and improve overall well-being. So, related to ICD diagnosis, if any maladaptive behavior or emotion occur, so like in Zomo, like itself, it is not a diagnosis. It's not a diagnosis. The opposite state, such as what we have mentioned, FOMO, or any other maladaptive patterns that Zomo seeks to counterattack, might be related to conditions like GAD. If FOMO, like fear of missing out, leads to pervasive worry, restlessness, or fatigue, etc. And also adjustment disorder for individuals who are like overwhelmed by life transitions and struggling to adapt to new responsibilities or social norms. And also OCD, excessive checking of social media or compulsions to keep up with trends could potentially fit here. And depressive disorder, major depressive disorder, if feelings of isolation or inability to keep up lead to pervasive sadness, loss of interest, or low self-worth. And the last one is internet use disorder, like or problematic social media use, over reliance on social media to the detriment of real life engagement might indicate behavioral concerns. So, if you see as a clinical perspective, ZOMO would not be a diagnosable condition, but rather a goal or therapeutic outcome for individuals who are struggling with societal pressures, social media addiction, or burnout. So, it could serve as a strategy in therapeutic frameworks such as CBT or ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy. So overall, we can say that again, going back to the case, it is like the outcome was a transformed life. So Maya's journey was like towards the joy of missing out. Brought profound changes to her life. She became more self aware and resilient, finding peace in stepping back from societal pressures. Her relationships improved as she connected with others authentically, no longer driven by a need to impress someone. And she found a sense of balance, and that allowed her to embrace a life that prioritizes her well being and values. So, practical takeaways, I can say that for anyone or her story, if we consider, this highlights actionable steps, right? So to embrace Zomo, so schedule me time. So block out non-negotiable time for activities you love. Next, unplug digitally, reduce screen time, and create tech-free zones. And the very important thing is that learn to say no, decline commitments that don't align with your priorities, and rediscover hobbies to engage in creative or recreational activities that brings joy. And regularly practice mindfulness, stay in the present, and focus on what truly matters for you. So, and finally, I would like to conclude this. The joy of missing out is not about withdrawing from the world, it's all about reconnecting with yourself. In the story, as we see, a transformative power of joy of missing out. By stepping back, setting boundaries, and prioritizing personal well being, we can always find peace and fulfillment. And for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the noise of modern life, remember sometimes the greatest joy comes from the moments you create for yourself. Thank you. Signing off, Shailaja Pisapati.